Bucs fans, there's the season. Not today. Not today at all. Guys, at the end of the day, they were better team. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. We couldn't do a damn thing to stop that kid. Let's go street CJ Stroud. That's why you're dead. I mean, it's a little bit gothic and I'm not dead at all, but it's a bit mean. Yeah, congrats to the Houston Texans. They deservedly should have beaten us because we were fucking poor. We were. There was a moment, I think it was at halftime, I say, wow, we could have this game because we looked comfortable with what we were doing. Houston changed some things, they did some things, and they literally play better than us. On every, our defense couldn't stop shit at any point in time. Once that second half started, that defense was on roller skates going backwards. You had people missing tackles. Cotton Davis in coverage was poor. That touchdown should never, ever happen. But it is what it is. Bucs fans, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's the season. That's the season right there. I don't changes. I don't see anything more coming. But I will bring in a gentleman who's probably ready to go off the Hornet because he did his research. He did his P's and Q's. He had a week off. And he decided that he was going to check this Houston Texans team out. And last night he said to me, this team is the same as the Bucs. Well, the score's very close. So I'm in agreement with him. He completely changed my opinion on the Houston Texans. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Rick Hughes from Bucs Live. How are you today, sir? It's horrible, isn't it?
I feel like it's that Bruce Willis. I hate it when I'm right. I mean, yeah. I told you Nico Collins and Tank Dell just
Yeah.
I
mean, you said it.
The offense, you can't blame the offense at all. If you said to me, let me get these stats. If you said to me that Baker was gonna shoot, I'm trying to get this as fast as I can. Baker was going to throw for 266. I
can get you the stats. Look, I'm up at me anyway, so I'm already rolling.
Yeah. Here we go. All right. If you said to me,
2 touchdowns, no interceptions. CJ Stroud, 30 for 42 for 470, breaking in an NFL rookie record with 5 touchdowns, 1 to cap off the game on the walk.
So. Yeah, before the game, if you said to me, Baker Mayfield, 21 of 30 for 265, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Rachaad White, 20 rushes for 73 yards.
2 touchdowns. You just would have won that game, wouldn't you?
2 touchdowns. Yeah, Mike Evans, 4 receptions, 87 yards. K. Dotton, 6 receptions for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's a guarantee win.
That should be a win, right? If someone just told you that and you didn't know what the other team scored, you should say, right, I'm going to let you know and give you I'm going to give you a glimpse into the future, Rick. Baker Mayfield's going to throw for 2 touchdowns. 2 of those touchdowns will be paid on. And your running back will have 2 rushing touchdowns in that game. Right. Your team will score 37 points and you're going, well, we've won. It's done. We're probably going to hold this team. We're going to probably hold this team to 19 points, maybe. Yeah. Maybe they get to 20, maybe they get to 21, but it's going to be in that ball mark. So we've won the game. No, we did not.
When one week it's the offense completely imploding, and the next week it's the defense that doesn't show up, because that is what happened. when we,
Fast coverage was poor.
and,
It was exposed, and it was ugly. It
well,
was really.
I want to say this. The coverage at the end, let me say this. At the end of games, I really hate what the NFL has done. There's no way for the defense to function. And I know this is not going to be a popular thing to say, but at the end of a game, there's no way to prevent. There's just no way. And I mean, you can say, well, I will go along with the fact that they needed to get some kind of pressure on the quarterback. Okay, that didn't happen. But game after game, team after team, week after week, it's not just the Buccaneers. Look, the Bucs almost drove down and scored last week with just a few seconds. That Houston did it to us this week. This is how it works in the NFL.
I think that I would say the difference in there is our we should be good at playing prevent. We play that all the fucking time. We literally let them get into field goal range.
Well, there's
Stop
soft
them there.
zone.
They pick the field goal 9 times out of 10. That's usually what happens.
Well, there's soft zone. And what I hate the Buccaneers fans do is start screaming and saying we shouldn't be blitzing at the end like that. And I'm a fan of the blitzing. I mean, people say, "Oh yeah, we got burned barely by Atlanta because we blitzed, or we got burned but last year by the Rams because we blitzed." Well, we just got burned because we didn't. I mean, we didn't have any pressure on Stroud at the end of the game. And
I just want to address this one thing, gentlemen. I believe he's a Houston Texans fan. Just guessing by the language that's being used. So, and I mean by language, I mean, sorry, this.
What he's saying, right?
Y'all better not downplay how good he played a good game, but this defense has made better quarterbacks look worse than CJ Stroud. Right now looks like he's an NFL elite against this, and that's what we're saying. We're not saying he's a bad quarterback. No. He's definitely on his way to being one of the potential NFL. I mean, it's a little bit early to crown him that, but he's probably going to be NFL Rookie of the Year. That's a fact. I don't see it going any other way. Especially with the performance that he puts in. That's going to be his signature right now of his rookie season. We are his signature piece, and that's not a good thing for the.
Not just what that. I mean, that's so historical. I mean, it's literally historical.
Absolutely. We historically beat a fucking really good Bucs defense.
Yeah,
it's been a good defense. It's been a good defense. We went against the NFC elite in the Eagles. They couldn't do it to us. We then go against the Lions, and they couldn't do it against us. But lo and behold, a team that's under 500 comes along and puts 5 touchdowns on us, over 400. How many yards did he get again? I just want to check it again because I don't know if I believe it. 470 yards. It's not against it. This defense should have done better. Like he played the way he played. No one can argue that, but we should have played better. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, you deserve all the kudos. Your team deserved. You're the winning football team. It is what it is.
Oh, shut up! I don't want to give him kudos. Just shut up and go to one of your fan sites. What are you doing hanging out here? I mean,
I'll lick my wounds. I will come back. It's fine.
I'm talking about him. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's like when we win a game, I don't go hang out on a team site for the other team. I mean, whatever. Somebody's looking for some attention. Look, I'll give CJ Stroud credit. I'll give Houston credit. I'll give the rookies. They obviously have a great draft class. I'll give them credit. I'll all of that. Absolutely. But I just don't understand why on one week it's the offense, then the next week it's the defense. There's always something collapsing. The soft zone at the end is what everybody does. Everybody does. Every single team does it. So when you're saying fireballs,
especially when there's a touchdown to get, right? They've got to go a lot of distance, and they burn their timeouts really quick. I was there like, are you really going to burn your timeouts now? Like you've got 30 seconds left on the clock. I'm going to get there to about 20 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, because if I only take seconds, let's not beat around the bush on this. That I'm going to use that when I can go, now I can complete one down the middle.
But can you get no pressure on the quarterback in that situation? Nothing.
We had pressure in the first half.
Yeah. We're all over.
If you turn around to us and say your Buccaneers are up by 17-10, right?
Yeah.
And the way they were playing at the end of that second half, they were playing well. The offense was looking good. That's the most they scored in a long time. Like, let's be honest, they're close to their crescendo right at 17 points there and then. They don't average. They average around about, I think, 17, 18 points a game if you were to take the totality of the season. So we're already at average, what the Buccaneers average. So it's like, okay, our average is the middle. Brilliant. Hopefully we can add some more to it. And we do. We end up adding a lot more to it, but that's not the point. The defense made stops to keep them at 10, and now we can't stop shit. And
there are so many stats in this game that I could give you that are, they only allowed 4 sacks in the last 5 games. How many did we have? I mean, we were all over them in the first half. They've been, their pass rush success rate is the highest in the league. Literally, they are number 1 in the league, their pass rush win rate. We were doing a good job protecting Baker relatively. Look, there are so many stats that if I told you it was going to go this way, it's a sure win. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. Here's the problem. This team is finding ways to lose.
Because they don't want to win. They don't want to win. They want to try and prevent losing, and it doesn't work.
I agree.
It clearly doesn't work, and we're seeing this now. They should be used to prevent defense. It's what we do on first fucking down, start the fucking game. We play prevent. The cushion coverage, as AJ likes to call it.
But how we do? I mean, the first half we did.
I mean, they put some crossing routes in there, so I'm sure AJ is a little bit happy.
The first half, think about. I mean, the first half we played great. The second half, I don't get it, and I can't cut down. I saw everybody ripping. There was at one point we on second 23 or whatever the heck it was. We ran the ball. Look, our offense is not the reason we lost. All right. So it's usually I'm saying stop yelling.
It's the other way around, isn't it? Normally we're talking about how like the defense kept them down to 20 or they kept them in the 20 range. Like, let's be realistic. You look at the Buccaneers games that they've done so far, everyone's been under or at 20. I think there's only one team that's put 20 on us. We have not had a team put 39 fucking points on us in a while.
Baker Mayfield was freaking awesome. He had a phenomenal game. Running when he had to. He hit the receivers. Everybody complaining he's not hitting the receivers that are open. He hit the receivers that were open. There's nothing I can tell you that Baker did not do well in this game. No picks again. Remember, that was the big concern. He throws so many picks. No picks again this game. Look, it in 1 minute. Look, Todd Bowles' scheme won us a Super Bowl. Todd Bowles' scheme was very good for us for years. So everybody's saying Todd Bowles somehow doesn't know how to coach defense. Yeah, you're wrong. He's also not the guys out there playing. And everybody who
they're not executing. I think sometimes he doesn't put them in the best position to make plays, like the cushion coverage here. And I know every team does it. I've had this conversation with AJ many a time saying the whole cushion coverage thing is part of the parcel. You watch every team in the NFL. I think sometimes the people just want the Buccaneers to play this straight up man coverage and expect it to win every single time.
Right. That's cushion coverage sometimes is the right coverage. And every time there's
I think we're a little bit too reliant on it now. I think it feels like it's a staple of our defense.
End of the game. We were at the end of the game, that's for sure. I mean, it works. It works if you're getting pressure on the quarterback.
For sure, because you're forcing the longer play, right?
Right. But when you can't get pressure on the quarterback, it doesn't work, and we couldn't get pressure on the quarterback. The first half we could. We were blitzing. It was working. The second half, we just decided, let's make some adjustments. I mean, I don't know. I don't have an answer. I mean, let me say this, though. That was a fun game. I mean, holy cow.
It was a very stressful game. I think I squirmed on that couch a lot. My ass was moving around all over the shop.
Oh my God! And everybody who's saying, "Oh, the Bucs struggled again with a rookie quarterback," this is not the same. What the Bucs
I know, but it kind of feels like that seems to be the
It's not that the Bucs struggle against rookie quarterbacks; it's that the Bucs struggle when you bring in a guy who's never played and it's his first game. That's the Bucs always seem to have trouble in those games when you're like, all right.
But it's scheme from scheme, team to team, head coach to head coach, defensive coordinator to defensive coordinator. That shouldn't translate. It should not follow through. The Mike Smith era should be a completely different era, but it seems to be. This thing is like you put a rookie quarterback. It's almost like any team playing the Buccaneers. Like, where's the person who hasn't played who's played the least amount of football on our team? This guy. Yeah, bringing him onto the streets. So he can play for us because the Buccaneers won't know what to fucking do against him.
Yeah. So for everybody who's ripping, who's saying, "Oh, we need to draft a quarterback next year." What quarterback that we could draft? What do you think they're going to do that would help us win today? There's nothing a quarterback could do that would help.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we could have started it earlier. We could have not left it to the end. But at the end of the day, the Buccaneers put themselves into position to win the football game. The defense had to just hold for 40-point-something seconds with 2 timeouts. And that would have been the game. That would have been it done. It would have been finished, and we would have all moved on, and we'd all be going, okay, well, there's food for thought here and there, and we talk about all these things. But in the end, what happens is we play a prevent defense and allow a team to slowly articulate the ball down the field and then go for the kill shot and actually score the touchdown. That's happened. We've done it to teams before, so it does happen in football. We can't pretend that it doesn't. But
you just can't. I mean, you can't when there's 40 seconds left on the clock and you're getting the ball. I don't care who you are or when. It just seems like, I mean, if you only need a field goal, it's as good as done. You can get down the field, no timeouts with 40 seconds. You can just do it.
It can be done. It's still an effort.
It can be done. It's going to be done almost every game.
Especially if you're playing cushion prevent type defense, for sure. Because you're allowing them to move the ball down the field.
It happened with Minnesota today, beating the Falcons. It happens in every game. Do you know that 2 out of the last 3 wins for Houston were on last-second field goals?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, and the third one was today when it was the last-second touchdown. I mean, you can't stop teams anymore at the end. So you've got to, it's whoever gets the ball last wins almost all the time if there's 40 seconds left or whatever. But listen, they had a rookie play caller. They had a defensive coordinator for a head coach. We scored 37 on them. If we won this game, the conversation, everybody would be freaking out about it. If they didn't get the last touchdown, if the whole narrative would be different. The bottom line is the players let them down. All right. The players did. It wasn't this. I agree about the soft coverage, and it does drive me nuts, but I believe that there's a reason for it. Listen, we don't have the players we had during our Super Bowl years. Guys, stop acting like Cowboys fans. Okay? The Super Bowl is done. It's over with. Stop acting like this team is that team. It's not. We don't have JPP. We don't have Ndamukong Suh. We don't have a lot of the horses that we had then, okay, both on offense and defense. So just stop thinking, well, we should, look, we're better than I saw a post today. I've got it all queued up for stupid stuff Bucs fans say about how
you'll find some interesting stuff today on this right now.
It's amazing. But somebody saying, oh, look, area team, look at what they did, and Bowles has systematically destroyed this team. Todd Bowles doesn't have Leonard Fournette, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, AB, Ryan Jensen. I mean, come on.
I love this by Fred Moore though. This one made me smell the Bucs should have taken it. That is a beautiful thing, and I'm going to say this as I say to everyone in hindsight. In hindsight, of course, but you don't know you're going to score when you're supposed to score. You know what I mean?
Well,
it could have been the next down. It could have been the down after that. You could have had a play that was caught inbounds and time's running off the clock.
Hold on. Here's where I'm going to agree with him. It's not a matter of hindsight, only because if they didn't and they let them be a 10-second run, you still have your timeout. Okay, so you could allow that 10-second runoff. You still have your timeout.
I guess so. I mean, but again, you're still looking at it with hindsight because you know what happened, right?
Right. But I don't think that I mean, we may have scored on the next play anyway. And I mean,
hindsight, you don't know. You don't know.
Right.
You might have thrown the ball inbounds. You had to use that timeout. The next play, you throw inbounds, and your clock is running further and further down. And the Buccaneers run out of time. And then everyone's like, well, he should have took this. And we're always going to have that argument because that's football. You know, there's always someone who we should have done this and we should have done that. Yeah, that's fine because that's football at the end of the day.
Yeah. I just want to say that. I mean,
I like this from James though. James has got when you have to disguise coverage so everybody knows we don't get pressure. We get pressure. We were creative in the first half.
In the first half we did.
They adjusted and we didn't have a fucking clue after that.
This is my problem. You just hit on it. This is my problem. Look, this is just a recognition. This team doesn't have another gear. They don't have another gear. Okay, they don't have the horses. They don't have the players. We've got two good guys on the defensive line, and honestly, that's it. We need more on the defensive line.
Who you got on that defensive line? To be honest,
what's that?
Who you got on that defensive line right now?
We got
your two guys. Other than Dave, I think Dave's gonna be one of them for sure.
Van Kancey.
Kancey had a decent showing, and I'd like to have seen a little more later on in the game, but.
Agreed, but I mean that's you've got to have somebody on the other side who can put pressure on the quarterback, and we don't have it.
Shaq Barrett's been non-existent. I'm hoping it's the Achilles heel, but I think he might be done.
I think he's done. I think it's time. I mean, he showed up. He had a couple of plays today. Listen, everybody had a couple plays today. This was an exciting game. Listen, if nothing else, this was fun. I mean, this really was a fun game. It was heartbreaking. It was awful. I'm a Bucs fan. I've been a Bucs fan since '76. I'm sorry, this doesn't crush me. It's like, all right, I'm familiar with this. Let's take a look and see what the Falcons and Saints did. You know, I mean, that's what I'm used. That's the way I'm used to living. But listen, everybody who's screaming and hollering, I don't know, Ryan Neal or Zion McCullum or I mean, every time a player gets burned, you're like, that guy's trash. Players get burned. The best get burned. I can show you Darrelle Revis getting burned. Okay, so it happens sometimes. And when you're playing a really good quarterback,
I think at the moment we're all kind of looking at Ryan Neal going, but why is this a common theme? And I know Coach Bolden addressed this saying if you knew the coverage we were running, then you wouldn't be saying that. It's like, well, then fucking tell us the coverage that we're running. And then we would shut the fuck up and you go, guys, we're in a fucking roll 3 and he's playing the flats. I'll shut the fuck up. I will gladly shut the fuck up because I should. You've told me what the play is. You told me what the thing is. Yeah, because you see offensive coordinators. I mean, BA would say, "Oh, this person ran the wrong route. This person made the wrong read."
And people got online and we're ripping on BA for throwing his players under the bus.
And I don't think you can win either way, Rick. To be fair,
you can't. Then that's my point.
Football fans. We're fickle and we want answers, and we want answers now, and we want to fire the coach, and we want to. All I say with the firing coach thing, I'm not saying I'm for it or against it. All I'm saying is give me a name. It's easy to say fire because that's a Donald Trumpism. That's an easy thing. I'm going to fire you because I got control of my team and I'm pounding my fist. Give me a reasonable person who you can actually hire. Don't just throw a name going. We should have someone threw at me last year when we went to the playoffs and we lost against the Cowboys. Someone turned around and went, we should trade for Sean Payton.
No, somebody reasonable.
But that's my point. You need to give me a solid name that the Buccaneers can actually go after rather than just turn around and fire the coach. Because that's easy to say. I can say that. You can say
my question is this.
Get rid of that player. Get rid of that player. Hire this player. Give me names of replacement players and replacement coaches that you can actually bring in rather than just say fire. Because that's easy.
Let's say you say, all right, you come up with a guy. I don't care who. Okay, I don't care who. Somebody, Harbaugh. I don't care who. All right. I'm not saying I want him. I'm just throwing a name. You understand? You don't have the kind of players in your system that Harbaugh wants. It's going to take years to get there. Are you willing to sit there? You're not willing to shut up now when a guy's building his team. You're not willing to be quiet now and go through the process. You bring in Harbaugh, and Harbaugh's got to basically pull the grenade pin and rebuild from scratch. What are you going to do?
Here's my answer to
are you
everyone.
going to
When they
deal
go
with
with
it?
it, you've got your name. We'll go with Harbaugh just because for the shit of things, right?
Right.
How long did it take Detroit to get on the map? 3 years. This is year 3. Am I right? This is year 3 for Dan Campbell?
No, I'm
So people seem to think they get an instant shot in the arm of a new coach and it's going to and sometimes it does. Sometimes you get the Miami Dolphins experience, right? What they're in right now.
But they were in a
Sometimes
better
that shot in the arm is
talent-wise.
straight and instant, and people want that because that's what the expectation is. But it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you do have to put up and shut up a shitty season or two, as long as you can see that the team is fighting for it. Right now, it feels like the Buccaneers are losing their grip more and more. And again, I'm not saying I know the answer because I'd have to look at coaching candidates, and I'm not looking into that until after the season because I'm not that type of person. I don't believe in firing in season because I just think it's a waste of time. What's the fucking
Raiders
point?
an awful lot, isn't it?
Well, I think that's their shtick, to be honest. It's like, well, what can we do to make a headline? Let's fire the coach mid-season.
That is all they're doing.
It does nothing because they don't hire the guy who does a decent job for them and maybe gets them back on track because they had that Rich Bisaccia who did a great job of galvanizing that team to a playoff berth. And then all of a sudden they went, well, we're going to go and hire someone. Oh, we're going to go and hire.
He wasn't a sexy enough name, right?
Exactly. So they go and hire the guy.
How did he never get a job anywhere? I mean, he's a special teams guy.
He's definitely a culture guy because to take a team as dysfunctional as the Raiders and to push them into playoff position is pretty special in the division that they played in. It's not like they were playing in the NFC East or the AFC South or anywhere like that where anybody could just roll a crap dice and just end up in the playoffs.
Yeah,
because that's how it kind of feels at the moment for some of these divisions. But they went and did it. They went and did a job. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and they seem to be galvanized by this coach. From what I've heard of people who had played or were in touch with players that were part of that team, they wanted Rich Bisaccia. They thought he was the guy. They felt like he was, he was going to. They believed in him, and then they go and hire, a guy who failed as a head coach before. And he failed as a head coach again. And, here's the thing. It's like that argument when someone turns around to you and says, oh, well, we hired a guy who's never called plays before to be our offensive coordinator. Do people not know how progression works? Imagine going into a job interview and you're a photographer and you've shot weddings, you shot a couple of special events for a family, but you've never done a fashion photo shoot. But you go for that job, you go and shoot for the stars and you go for that job. You're going to go in that interview going, I can't shoot fashion. I ain't got a fucking Scooby-Doo how to do it. So please hire me because I like taking photos. It doesn't work like that. There's a progression level. And your only way you're going to get one of these generational coaches, otherwise, here's the real thing. If you hire somebody who is on their 3rd or 4th offensive coordinator job, there's a reason they're still getting hired as an offensive coordinator and getting fired as an offensive coordinator. There's a reason your head coach is, I want a head coach with head coaching experience. Brilliant. But there's a reason why he's available to you.
Well, hold on. How'd they end up with their Super Bowl coaching staff? Okay.
He boasts about being fired. I got fired here. I remember watching the Hard Knocks and he's like, I got fired over there, and I got fired over there, and I got hired by Alabama, and they fired me, and this team fired me, and that team, and I traveled over here. And his wife has been on record saying, we traveled a fucking lot.
Right.
Which is why he's very family orientated with his own staff, because he's like, I don't want my staff to go through what I went through.
Right. But you can't say getting fired means I mean, look.
I'm not just saying. I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, there's a reason that person's available. I'm not saying they're a bad choice. All I'm saying is there's a flip side to every argument. So you go and hire the experienced person, but there's a reason that they're available. You go and hire the person that's never called plays. There's a reason why he's never called plays. So you see what I'm saying? That there's a flip side to everything. Not everyone's going to be a Coach McDaniel. Not everyone's going to be a Coach McVay.
Right. No, I agree with that. And by the way, let me bring up one of the comments here. James Matz says
he's been very active. Thank you, James. For I mean, he has been slating us on our X's and O's.
Look, Bowles has failed.
I coach Jimmys and Joes. I don't worry about X's and O's. I worry about my Jimmys and Joes.
He says, look, Bowles has failed for 3 years.
I'd say 2. Well, if you want to go down the failure route, he did have a head coach. He did have a head coach overseeing him. You can't. That I know a lot of people look back at that NFC divisional round game and go, "Well, if Coach Bowles didn't blitz in that situation," and then a lot of people would turn around and say, "I wouldn't have blitzed in such." And I'm a coach myself, a defensive coordinator. I wouldn't have blitzed in that situation. However, there's a reason that team got to where they were. Do you know how many short fields Tom Brady had to go and score points? Do you know how many times they stopped the offense from scoring in the second half? There was that play, I think Antoine Winfield pops the ball out off Cooper Kupp just to end the second half.
But and this is my point. We're saying
turn around. It's that game, it was the totality of the whole situation. Yeah, that was a bad play call, and it ultimately helped us lose the game.
This is my point. Today we're bitching that they had a soft zone coverage, and that's what the problem was. So in that position, they blitzed. Well, that was wrong to blitz in that situation. Look, man, you're leaving a very small sliver of what the team's got available for them to do. I mean, just because something doesn't work one time. Okay.
And I appreciate James Matz for sticking around because he said he's a New England fan. He came here to Brady. It looks like he's been buggered off, so I appreciate. Just give us a moment. We're just discussing the totality of everything. Everyone's got an opinion show. Not everyone's going to have the same opinion. So, you speak to AJ, but tomorrow, James, come on the Aftermath tomorrow. You can speak your voice as well because the Aftermath's all about that. Yeah. And you can have your say, believe you me. And AJ is one of the most passionate people I've ever met. He was the one with the Byron out. That was his thing. I'm sure he had T-shirts printed somewhere, caps printed at Byron out, get him out. That was his shtick, right? So he's for it. I'm just saying I try to keep the Bucs report. We're a very broad spectrum. We don't all think the same thing because that would be boring. We want to be different. I want to be different to Rick. Rick has a different opinion to me, and that's what makes these shows so much more fun. Is when you have no, I don't think that's a problem, and we have these beautiful debates. Me and Rick have them all the time when we were talking about offensive line play, and then we talked about the Texans, and you convinced me and said, actually, the Buccaneers are a pretty similar team to the Houston Texans. They can barely run the football, that we did today for some bizarre reason.
I don't understand any of that. They give up.
They flipped a coin. Someone did a voodoo dance or some shit. And I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I love being on this. I love hanging out with you, but I'm going to run. I'm going to get out of your way. But I just want to say, guys, look, welcome to, for those of you who are new to this, for those of you who came in the last 3 years, welcome to the full Buccaneer experience. This is what it is. This is to you. You're like, I don't like what this feels like. To me, it's almost like, oh yeah, I remember this.
We Buc fans call it riding the ship. We're just riding the ship now because that's where we are at this point. I said to my wife after this game, I was like, we're not going to no playoffs. I'm just going to enjoy the season for what it is, and then when the season's in totality, I'm going to give my 2 cents worth. What I hope and expect to see at the totality of the season, or what I want. Draft picks and that kind of stuff, whatever. We ain't there yet. I'm just going to enjoy the ride for what it is because as Buccaneers fans, we were blessed with some solid years. They're gone, and we're trying to get back.
We are 1 game behind the Saints, and there are years we would have killed for that halfway through this. So
and we've still got the Saints. We can always go back and eat some more Saints. So
that's right. All we got to do is beat them next time we play. Once we do that, if we win when they're bye week and then we beat them, we're in first. Think about that.
We got our friends from the Just Fans podcast. They came on one of our shows in the preseason, and they're three gentlemen, beer chuggers. We had a great laugh with them, and they weren't expecting to beat us. Congratulations to your team, man, and enjoy the season for what it gets. Enjoy what you got. You guys really did pick well. You got the second guy, but the second guy seems to be the number one guy right now. So kudos to you guys. Enjoy. Yeah, for sure. It looks like he's got a bright future. So I give him his due. So
Texans are a likable team. It's good to see them winning. I mean, I hated that it was against us, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any team beat us, but it is. It's like we've been one of those teams where when we did well, when we had that Super Bowl run, I think there were a lot of people on our side because the Bucs hadn't been good for a long time, and they were like, it's nice to see the lovable Bucs.
Yeah,
who don't win very often, and now they've got this team, and they're being dominant, and they're doing these things, and it was nice to hear.
We feel about Detroit, same kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good feel-good story because the Houston Texans, they share a market with Dallas, and Dallas are the team, and they're like kind of the ugly stepchild that doesn't really get the love. And
well, I'm gonna go, but Bucs fans, stop being Cowboys fans and understand the Super Bowl's over. Those years are gone. Stop thinking I don't want to hear we've seen what this team can do. I don't want to hear that anymore. Okay, we've seen what this team can do. We saw it today. All right, we've seen it for the last several weeks. All right,
and I would turn around to Coach Canaz and say, "That's your baseline now. That's that's kind of the expectation." He called a decent game. Like, it was pretty solid. They, I mean, it helps when your run is actually moving. That does tend to make a bit of the difference.
What's up with Chris Godwin?
I don't know. He was kind of non-existent, wasn't he?
That's a couple weeks in a row, several weeks in a row. I mean, he just has not been. I don't know. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Thanks. Been good. Been good talking to you. I'm gonna head out of here.
No, brother. Look out yourself, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll pop.
If not, I will be juicing I say juicing. I don't take no drugs. I'm a good boy. I'll be in the gym, but I will be coming on to Bucs Live to have a chat with you guys, and I want to see what the Don't Be a Baby is going to be about this week because I'm excited for that because I think that's a very funny segment. Dave, and I love it, and of course, whatever the food you're going to be talking about this week, I'm ready to talk about it.
It'll be fun. Have a great night, man.
And you look after yourself, brother. Okay, guys, so let's have a little look at how the Buccaneers offensively did and defensively did. So we go into the first quarter, and your Buccaneers score 10-7, and then we finish off the half 17-10. So we win 2 quarters, and then the Houston Texans come in. They go and go 12 to our 6. They go 17 to our 14, giving the totality of a 39-37 game. Baker Mayfield, no turnovers, no interceptions, and the Buccaneers team kind of stinks it up on defense. Just really, really disappointing in pass coverage. Pressure wasn't getting anywhere. Realistically, I think we really need to. If it's not the scheme, you've got to look at the players executing the scheme because they can't seem to execute your game plan, Coach Bowles, and you need to start looking at people who can. And I mean that. If you want to live as a head coach for another year, you need to start looking and come up with a problem. Right now, Jack Barrett is the only guy that can that's generating a bit of pressure on the outside, and it's not consistent enough. Stroud Rookie of the Year, I think it's pretty set. Let's go. I'm just going to go through a couple of. There's been a lot. I want to appreciate everyone who's commented. Sorry we don't always get through them. James does know how it feels. He's from Chicago. Okay, that's fair. I think I might understand your pain. I'm from Worcester. We have shit sports teams here too, so don't worry about it. All the same, wish you guys all the best. Beat those Saints. I'm hoping we get the Saints because the head coach of my football team that I coach at is a Saints fan, so I need to have bragging rights again. It needs to be done because I can't look at that guy in the face with that smirk on his face. I can't do it. So Buccaneers fans got it. Bucks, they got to do me a solid. We got. I'm exhausted, guys. I'm so frustrated with this. Is a good team with weapons in its coaching. I know. I get where you're going with the coaching thing but I think it's not just the scheme and the tendencies. I just don't think we got good pass rushers. I generally don't think there's anyone in the outside backers that I could turn around and go, that is a consistent threat. Like Shaq is probably the only person, and I think he's on his way. I think he's on his last legs. I think this guy has maybe 1 to 2 more years in the league. Wouldn't be surprised if I saw him playing backup next year if the Buccaneers didn't keep him around. Great defensive pieces, strong rookie of the year. What's the Bucs fans ready for AJ Turnip? Yeah, AJ's always ready to go. Let's bring it in. Is he here? AJ Turnip's in the building. Here we go. We're bringing in Buff Curry, the man, the myth, the legend.
All right, Bucs fans, let's repeat. Get Bowles the fuck out of here. Carry your ass, Bowles. Leave that sorry fucker in Houston. They got plenty of briskets down there. They got everything. He got the fucking go. And a matter of fact, leave Canales' dumb ass there too.
Now, I got something for you. Here's my best one. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Hang on, I need a piece of paper. My kids are doodling, so I do apologize if you see weird shit.
Oh yeah, no. You're good. You're good. If the kids aren't around, right? Okay.
Who's this?
Yeah, it's the scowling, stoic, dumbass.
It's like he's always smelling a fart.
Yeah, it's just no, it's not even that. You know why he smells a fart?
I'm gonna do my tradition. Sorry, AJ, I got shed this because he just from your day.
Yeah, it's so tight up his ass. That's why he looks like that. He can't let a fart out because he can't let a coverage out. But
dude, pass coverage hands down was abysmal.
Oh, I know why. I'll bring you right back. Give me 1 sec.
Go.
Here it is. There you go. That is it. That is what killed your Bucs defense today. That is what killed your Bucs defense. Got shredded by a fucking rookie.
Your Bucs defense being shredded brought to you by Cushion Coverage.
Cushion Coverage.
Now in pewter.
Now, again, guys, there's no excuse. It's inexcusable. Get Bowles the fuck out of here because this is what happened.
Now, AJ, I got one. I just want to get your opinion of this because I know you're a very offensive-minded dude. Yeah, we always talk offense. You're the offense guy. I'm the defense guy. What do you rate this offense at?
D-, and this is why I say it's a D-.
Wow. Okay, I thought you might go into. I was going to give him a B-, maybe
D-.
D-.
The D-. The run would have been there if you fucking used the pass. They were scared of the pass. The secondary was scared of the pass. That's why when they took deep shots, Evans was open. That's why when the crossing routes were there, it was happening. And when Otten was going off, where was he going off at? Was he going off in the middle like I said he should? Or was he going off on the side? How many times did you hear me say that, Slick, that if Otten is used in the middle?
Every single time. Let's use this guy down the seams. I felt there was more. Don't get me wrong. Like I will say this. It felt like boots on the ground, eyeball on the field. It felt like there was more creativity from this offense. There was a bit more motion. There's a bit more this. There was a bit more that. It's better than what we've seen. I would turn around and say this should be the baseline of a Buccaneers offense right now. Like the absolute. This is where I expect us to be rock bottom. That's where we
were rock bottom with these two dickheads as a coach. This is why.
But AJ, who you got to replace though? Because it's easy to fire a guy.
Oh, absolutely. Here's the thing. All you need, this Bucs team right now, the Glazers are going to be in search mode either way. Right now, all they need, you know what the one word they need? They need a coach that you know what they can have that fucking Bowles lacks. 2 words, I'm sorry. No, 3. Passion, intensity, and accountability. Here's why I say that. There is no reason Ryan Neal's sorry, trash, pathetic excuse of a fucking player who is robbing the league when there's so many people on the street, including yourself, could have done a better job. You bench his ass. Unacceptable football play. Now, I know Delaney was a little nicked up, but you get somebody else out there. he was a liability. But this is another reason why I hold Bowles responsible. Those touchdowns, a lot of people were telling me AJ Carson Davis was getting burnt. You know why he's getting burnt? He's not a fucking zone corner. He is a man.
It's not just that. I think that the big touch, the big like the one shotter.
Yeah.
That wasn't his guy. He came from the opposite side of the field.
Exactly. You know who that was? That was Ryan Neal's sorry ass.
Ryan Neal.
What was he doing?
I think he got tangled up somewhere. I don't know who he clipped off, but he clipped off someone, lost his foot, and hit the dirt. And then it was Colton Davis who chased him down in pursuit. And that's why it went. I mean, don't get me wrong, Colton Davis had a bad game too. There's not one person on the DBs. I don't think there's one person on defense I can turn around. Maybe Cansey and Vea I can and Winfield I can probably turn around and say had decent games, and they weren't great either. It was very disappointing. I just feel this team has no. I think what the better lack of word. There's no urgency. There's no energy. It just feels like we're going through the motions. We're like a little steam train that's going from station to station to station to station, and there's no like nastiness that we used to have. Like it feels like we've lost our teeth.
We've lost our teeth, but we've also lost our way to be aggressive. Again, why are you playing this stupid ass shit against a rookie? You were doing good earlier when you were playing man. Bowles, you will stop being a little bitch. Stop worrying about getting beat the fuck deep. They weren't getting beat the fuck deep when they played man. They were only getting beat the fuck deep every time they played cushion. McCollum had a shitty game too. McCollum, oh God, it was god awful. But I'm not blaming him today because that's not his repertoire. Rookie to 3-year corners, you want them to play man because in my opinion, my thing is I want you to be the best, get the best of the receiver or he get the best of you, but not mentally, physically. When McCollum was getting shredded, even there was a play when Sprout throws a deep pass. The only reason it wasn't complete is because Sprout threw it too far out of bounds. If he throws that pass perfectly, it's a touchdown because McCollum was wide open. Bowles does not have the balls. And here's where I was done with him. In this first half, when the Bucs were shutting down the Texans, no timeouts were called. No timeouts were called. What the fuck was you doing? You don't even want to give your offense a chance?
Yep. I completely agree. They were burning through time, and we were stopping them. And we don't try and preserve some time to go and have let's try and let's see if we can get something out. Let's see if we get the field goal, which get a field goal range, get a field goal. That's you're chipping away at you're adding points to the score. You're adding points, and it makes that extra mile look further for them. They're like, fuck, we're going to try and go up 18 points, or we got to go up 20 points. We got to go up. You know what I mean? It just keeps adding to the totality of the situation. I generally believe this, and I think this is a thing that I've noticed. The Buccaneers, when we had Bruce Arians, it was no risk it, no biscuit. When Coach Bowles got hold of the team, and I believe, and I wonder, and I honestly wonder, and you'll probably disagree with me on this, was Byron Leftwich and Dave Canales lackluster because of their head coach who was saying, don't take no risks, don't do anything, keep everything inside. My defense will do everything. Don't worry. All you need to do is slowly matriculate the ball. You don't need to go crazy. This team can hold 20 points. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about taking the nuts. And that's when you had like the Tom Brady moments where he went, to hell with this. I'm just going to let rip and I'm going to get us a fucking game. We don't have Tom Brady no more. So we're now relying on a quarterback that's not known for comeback wins every week. So we're in this situation now where it's just not working. This team has lost its teeth.
They've lost their teeth. That's why I said this. If all they got to do, Slick, is get a guy that's passionate. This team, despite the bullshit we're going through and the fuckery, is still not over just yet. It's over for them. I mean, maybe because we don't now. Unfortunately, we have to rely on everybody else in our division to fuck up. But if you just all it takes, you know what it takes? It takes a coach like me because I'm just saying I'm that guy where I would be like, I believe in this team. First of all,
we got to get our internships. We'll do our thing.
It takes
That would
look
be
here,
awesome.
Bucs fans. Slick and I will lead the way because you know why? We actually
We
believe.
we have actually applied for the Buccaneers coaching position as they got their academy of coaching coming up, and it probably is just an internship. But we're hoping we can make some waves and we can make a name for ourselves. If anything, for me, I'm just there to learn and see what I can get. And if I can show something, they go, this guy's got promise. Maybe I'll make it further in the league. That's the dream. Never shoot for the stars, and you might be in orbit. That's the way I always look at it.
Well, look, first of all, it's always good to be amongst the stars. You just want to make sure you're in the same galaxy. And what I mean by that, you have what it takes. Like, don't let these people, when you get over here, because this is what people will try to do over here in the States. Like, they'll try to throw some bullshit scenarios, and I go, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. All you did was just say something where one guy's running this way and the other guy's running that. I don't care if it's a zebra 6'5" slant. I know what that means. That could just mean the guy's just going to run 2 yards inwards. This is how they think over here. That doesn't scare me. I'm going to look at it and go, okay, do you even have the player that can do that shit? So this is why I say the Bucs need a guy like me in the intermediate coach. They need a guy that says, I believe in you, Mike Evans. I believe in you, Chris Godwin. I believe in you, Palmer. I believe in this team. I believe in you guys to make things happen. We don't get that from Bowles. As you said, Bowles is a safe guy. No, guys, let's just do it this way. And his caution is what's
it's straight up not working. Since
it's not working.
The reins, the culture of this team is we don't need to be. It's not great. We don't need to be aggressive. We are, and the defense is good. We know that the defense is good because it's had times where it's been very good. The issue on the table is we become passive, and it's so hard to get a team to go, right, we're being passive. Now we've got to be aggressive. You can't just flick that switch. Be aggressive. Sick the dogs. That's how we won the championship. That's how we were with Bruce Arians, and it feels like we need a little bit more of that. And it's not to do with him being a stoic person or what have you, because he was that stoic person when he was coaching all-out blitzes and doing all these things and all this crazy stuff that everyone was like, oh, my God, yeah, he's one of the most aggressive coaches. Right now, he's a coach with no teeth. His dentures are somewhere else.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a damn shame, and that's why I say you want to cut it now. You want to cut the cancer now before it spreads. Bowles is a cancer. And this is what I mean.
Would you clean house, or would you? Are you keeping Canales?
I'm getting rid of Bowles, and here's the thing, Canales. Just because I don't want the offense to fucking flounder a lot, and unless they would have someone that can come in and immediately make the offense average.
I think the difference is it depends on if you're hiring. If you end up hiring an offensive, if you end up hiring an offensive coordinator as your next head coach, then it's going to be up to him if Canales is kept, right? Because I'll have an offensive coordinator, but I'm going to recall the plays. I'm going to be the guy. and then it's up to Canales if he wants to stay. You know, that kind of thing.
At that point, yeah, that's why I say you get somebody in there if he's passionate, if he is willing to take risk. The Bucs literally just are a coach away from a guy who's willing to take risk. They don't have that. You're putting your players in bad positions. I told you this. Carlton Davis had a bad game. He is the most predictable. Absolutely. He's very
well, that kicking coverage is predictable because it just allows you to take advantage. Like, do people not realize that there are people in the NFL that will catch a fucking 5-yard slant and turn it into 8 yards or 10 yards or whatever? You know, when you play off, you're almost inviting them to throw the short, quick stuff. So I'll just beat you with the quick stuff. And then when you start to come down, that's when I'll try the other stuff. It's not rocket science. This is no cushion. I ain't got a cushion.
When you play this, this is what's going to happen. You're going to psychologically.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Hold on. But mine's not flashy as yours.
Yeah, when you play that. When you play that, but again, this team lacks, like I said, intensity, passion. They don't have it. They don't have the guys out there saying, I believe in you. They have coaches right now saying, basically this in a nutshell, I'm more scared of this team than I believe in you. So think of the psychological insult that is to these players. I assure you, Mike Evans and Godwin are like, what the fuck? I'm a 1,000-yard receiver. I'm an elite guy. First of all, Evans and Godwin should have been targeted 15 times a piece. A piece.
Well, why was Godwin not targeted? I don't remember his name being called.
Idiocy. And look, when Evans, who should have got that touchdown, which they was bullshitting on, that little touch to the face was some bullshit. He should have got a touchdown. But as you see, when they threw deep,
but it is what it is. I mean, to the letter of the rule, he did touch him and he fell down. I know he had nothing to do with putting him down, but that's just. I'm pretty sure if that happens to us, we're calling it as a down by contact too. So
I'd rather just give it a touchdown. To me, a contact is when I'm affecting you of making something happen.
I agree with you, but I think let's face it. Let's say it's the last play of the game, and Colton Davis strokes someone's fucking nose and he falls down. You're going to go down by contact. Because you're gonna, it's just the way it's the way it is. So you can't have it both. You can't have it both ways. Yeah. I don't like it. My wife hears me plenty of times, and she can probably attest to when I see a team make a play against us, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, that was like not targeting. That was like a attack at the head of the neck area. That's a unnecessary roughness." I'm like, I'm absolutely fine with that. I don't believe in PI. I think it's pussy ball. In my opinion, unless it's like you are clearly shoving a guy out the fucking way, and it's clear, PI has to be clear and obvious. Like you're hooking a guy's arms down. That's PI. I'm okay with that. But incidental contact and things like that, I'm like, just let the fucking guys play, man. This is supposed to be a physical collision-based sport, and we're trying to tone it down to a point where we're like, oh well, he's a defensive receiver. He's caught a football. If he don't think he can get hit, then he's stupid.
Then he should. Well, more than that, if he wants to think that, let me take away.
I mean, I think that's what the rules state. I don't think any player would sit there going, "I'm defenseless." No one's going to have that mindset because everyone's kind of right.
Absolutely.
You drop a nut at some point when you played this game. You know, get your head on that swivel. It's like we saw with Sanders with the hit, and I seen a beautiful one where they stopped it and it's his shoulder in him, and then later on. The helmet hits, and it is what it is on paper. It is a head-to-head helmet collision, and I was like, and we had arguments with a few people here and there, and I said, but did he? You're making it sound like he used his helmet as a weapon to injure the person. He didn't. It's incidental contact, and yet the penalty stands because it is what it is. Now I look at him, Showboat. Do you think he knows that he's made contact with his head or neck area? Of course he fucking don't. Come on, have you ever? I've tackled somebody and they've screamed at me. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You grabbed me by the balls. I don't know what the fuck I'm grabbing. I'm just grabbing and holding on for dear life and dragging a motherfucker down. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm not calculating where I'm placing my hand placement in a tackle. I'm just throwing my body in there and gripping what I can hold and holding on for dear life and drive that guy into the ground. And if it happens I grabbed him by the testicles, then I've grabbed him by the testicles. I didn't mean to. Just is what it is.
It is what it is, but at this time, you have to, if you, again, Bowles is a cancer. How do you get rid of cancers? You got to start cutting them off sooner. You have to cut them out. And I know, like I said, it's not going to take anything. Right now, you get a guy in there who is passionate. That's all this Bucs team need is a passionate coach that believes in his players. At this point, we are in a position to where we just got to start thinking about who deserves to stay and who deserves to go. And I don't believe in neither. Canales, like I said, the reason why I say D-, he didn't really impress me. The players did everything in their power, not him. Again, right. Otten was killing in the middle. Why the fuck are you not going to the middle? Again, why the fuck are you not using Mike Evans in slots? Again, why in the Lord's name are you not getting crossing routes going? Why in the Lord's name are you not taking
advantage of the width of the field rather than just trying to send everyone downfield?
That's right. And again, if you look at
it up, it's like we either send loads of people on like the width or going in the breakers, out breakers, or we send everyone deep. Yeah. We don't tend to take this advantage of going sending one deep, one guy, and have levels, because that makes the read easier because you've got everyone kind of like aligning into your eyesight. So you go back one. No, yes. You know what I mean? Exactly. Whereas if you have everyone going in different directions, you kind of got to do this, and you're gonna get sacked. Now, don't get me wrong, this passing offense, this passing offensive line is good enough for the crossing route. So I would like to see a few more. And I know I wind you up about crossing routes because I have to. I have to because it's your shtick and it's your thing. But I do believe in crossing routes myself. I believe in mesh. And I've always liked the whole. Here's an interesting crosser for you. You got Y motion coming across, comes across. You can either hand it to him and you turn it into a sweep. You can not hand it to him and let him continue, and you fake it to him and you can give it to the running back, or you let him continue and you turn it into a pass set. And now he is hitting the flats hard. You got a guy coming across, and you've got your traditional crossing route, 2 crosses on one side and a mesh coming across the other side. So you, at one point, you've got 3 guys in a dump off, and whatever you want the running back to do.
I tell you this, Slick Buck fans, tomorrow I'm going on the show. I'm going to be bringing in 4 plays on offense that the Bucs can use, and I want to see if Slick can beat this defense. So guys, remember this. We're going to be doing that. But I got 4 plays that I can tell you in the passing right now. If the Bucs listen to AJ turn up right here, this offense would have blown out the Texans. And the funny thing is, Slick, the Bucs had the potential to do it early in the first half when they were up. They fucked
I do not know how we let that game slip out of our fingers because
I know.
I genuinely thought at halftime, and I maybe call me naive, call me stupid, call me whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I'm going to say it as it is because this is my honest feelings as I felt at halftime. I was like, we got this. We fucking got this because they were doing nothing. Their plays were lucky plays. They didn't do a damn fucking thing. And then Houston goes and adjusts. And they adjust so well that we do nothing to counteract it. We're like, well, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and expect it to work. And it's not going to work because that's the definition of insanity, AJ.
Doing the same thing and expecting different results. I don't understand it either. And this is why I said this. You can't have a guy like Bowles there. He doesn't have it, and the Canales is the same. Why the fuck are you still trying to establish a run? The run isn't helping. You could have done that. You know what? Rachaad White could have had a 100-yard game today. You want to know why, Slick? All you had to do is pass more. That would have frightened the secondary, and that would have had them back out of the box. And then HB draw plays. That's how it can run. Or even if you line up at the I formation because they are so afraid of the passing, they're not going to load the box.
I just run a power eye or an I formation. I'd love us to do that and have trying to remember the gentleman's name. Oh my gosh, do you have a tight end? Not Otten.
Parnham?
No, the other one, the one that we got last year.
Wells? Not Wells. No, he's the.
Oh my god.
I know who you're talking about.
My brain is gone completely dead on.
Well, here's another thing. Why are you doing a flea flicker to Cade Otton? Where was Mike Evans? Where was Chris Godwin? Where was Trey Palmer? Why
sounds like you run out of ideas?
That was just stupid. That was stupidity. That's what that was about. That was stupidity. And that's what I'm saying.
Keith.
Yeah.
You put him right in front and just go and eat somebody. Go find someone, feast on their soul, and our boy's just going to ride off your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Hold on, Jason.
James has got that nice little nugget there. So the problem with the game is that coaches allow philosophy to dictate the game flow. When you have a Godwins and Mike Evans, and you don't use an I formation for a play. Yeah. So there you go.
Oh yeah, that's what
there's so many different things. I find that the Buccaneers on offense are so predictable, and you can say the same. It's like the same with the defense realistically, because you know you're going to get that cushion coverage. You know it's going to be there because they have one side that's cushion. I always notice they have one side cushion and one side almost pressing. And then they don't press, they just kind of drop. And I always say, like, if you're going to play like a cover 2 shower or a cover 2 zone thing, get your corners to play super handsy because they don't have to worry about no deep release. Just get them to play nasty, like really get into their grill, bully. And if they beat you, don't worry about it because the safety's going to pick that up because that's the whole point. But we don't allow that to happen. We don't
allow it. As you said, that last drive was pathetic. McCullum was getting beat like a drum every fucking time. You know why? Because he was playing cushion. All you had to do is jam and rush forward. Cansey and Vita would have gotten something going because you know why? Stroud would have been trying
AJ, I don't even mind him pressing and playing underneath and then the safety brackets over the top. That's how I would play it. Because you know they're going to try and get to the... Where do you go when time's running out? To the sideline. So who are the people most closest to the sideline? The outer wide receivers, the true wideouts, your Z and your X. So what you do is you clamp down on them. You give I would say you're going off their inside foot. So you're pushing them to the back to the outside. So they release a long way out. If you're lucky, they step out of bounds. Even better because they can't make a play. You're pushing them out, and it doesn't matter if they beat you because guess what? You're playing underneath them, and the safety is going to clamp down over top. That's how I play that every single day, unless they're in pure spread, which means you've got like two for two. Then you're going to have to. I'd probably go dime and get my two best man receivers on the other two guys and say, safety, you're going to split between the two wide receivers, and whoever gets deepest, you're going to follow that motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's just it was piss poor execution. When you play that zone, that's all that was happening. They literally just got up there. Once I saw that play, the first play when they on the drive, and he beat him, I said, "Oh God, we're gonna lose this game." I said because at this point the coverage has been compromised. He's going for where he needs to go, and there was no pressure. There was not enough pressure on that last touchdown. Sprout should have he should have had so much pressure in his face, and they blew it.
He didn't want to throw the ball. He was thinking we didn't force him out the pocket once. No, so we did, but it was very. He was
very rare.
Stand tall. This is why I would like if you have a mismatch in wide receiver, so you got trips.
Yeah,
the trip side is the side I'm gonna send more guys because I'm gonna try and flush you out because you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to roll out to get away from it. Now you've only got the single wide receiver, maybe a running back who's probably gonna be in pass pro 9 times out of 10, unless they're an empty. The way you kill empties, you just you generally tend to blitz the two middle linebackers because that puts even more pressure on them and just say, look, as he peels out, you peel with him. So peel alert, expect him to peel. You're blitzing to kill him, but you see him peel out, you just follow through. Scrape up the ass. There was some creativity, but it wasn't enough for me. There was a couple of nice blitzes that I saw that I really enjoyed. I think it was, I'll be honest, it's probably the one where we saw Probert take an inside route. So he went down the the B gap, and then you had the scrape over the top by Devin White. That was a nice little play. And I don't know why they don't go back to some of these things or have different players do it. It doesn't have to be the same personnel doing it. It just seems that we're out of ideas and this team's done.
They are done. And right now I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna save my energy because right now I'm going to the lab. I'm going to give y'all some 4 solid ass plays. But again, it's always been a pleasure. At this point, after this today, I'm just going to be in pilot mode, which means Buck fans, I'm going to observe. I will talk my shit, of course, but I'm not going to be upset anymore. It's one of those things where I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to watch the game, have my little sip on, and call it a day because I'm fucking done with these coaching people. It would be a fucking miracle for me to believe in them. But now, Buck fans at this point, just don't get your hopes up anymore. I apologize. First of all, they should be apologizing to us because we are the ones that's financially are feeding them. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole other conversation. But I will see you guys tomorrow on the Aftermath on 102.9 The Game, Broad Street South Radio. And as always, Slick is doing the damn thing. This man is overseas right now. He is this is why Bucks for the organization. This is a good fan right here, and he's also a good man. Please, Bucks organization, get him as a coach. Trust me. If you don't want me, because I talk shit, it is what it is. Get this guy.
We both talk shit, bro.
He's gonna help you. But as always, go Bucks, and I will be chatting with you tomorrow, my man. You stay up, and again, stay fly. I will talk to you later.
One day they'll get bigger. One day they'll get bigger. I need to get some tips off you of how to speed up the process.
I got you, my man. You take care of yourself.
Give me that efficiency tips.
I got
Look
you.
after yourself, and I'll catch you soon, bro.
I got you. Take care of yourself, brother.
And you. Okay, guys, that is pretty much the end of the show, and I appreciate Joe Matz for all the chat that he's been giving right now, and I appreciate the good talk. K-pop lover, that's a bit of a name. Like, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. This has been the loudest post-game show I've ever done. It's the most guests I've ever had on. Usually this thing only lasts 55 minutes because no one talks to me. I go through the stats. I talk about key points in the game and things that I would do differently, and then that's it, done. But today, you guys, you came out in force. Everyone's talking, so I love it. But the show's come to its conclusion. But if you want a little bit more of this content, you want a little bit more, it gets juicy tomorrow. Because tomorrow we let this game percolate in our soul. We let this game percolate in how we feel about everything, and it all comes out. And it is a no holds bar show. So any of you guys who've been chatting in the messages, in the comment section, you guys are more than welcome to come on screen. If you don't want to come on screen, you can just press this little button here, says no cam, and then all of a sudden you just get this. That's not a problem. We can get that for you, so you can just chat your shit and get it out your system. Because I think as Bucs fans, we need some therapy right now, because we thought the season started. I personally thought we could do a job. We could probably go back to back division championships. Didn't think we were going to go much more than that. Maybe win a playoff game. And now that looks like it's way too lofty of us expectations. This Buccaneers team does not look like they want to win games, and they seem disinterested. And I never want to talk shit about anybody, because that's not my vibe. As a coach, I never want to talk bad against other coaches. It's hard to talk trash about coaches for me, because I'm a coach. I know how hard it is to coach. I've been part of losing teams, and I know that I did everything I could to help that team, and it's still lost. And I'm sure there's probably people going, he's a sucky coach or whatever. So I never want to be that person, but it feels like the light has gone out in this team of passion, and I'm going with my gut instinct. I'm not saying it is what it is. I'm just saying what I feel. And for me, it just feels like there's no burning fire for this team. Offense, defense, it just feels like we're going for the motions. We're a locomotive, and we're just going to station, just trying to get to the next station, We don't want to be efficient to get in there. We just keep on trucking. Unfortunately, in the NFL, it's not working. And I personally have seen the difference in how Coach Bold coaches as a head coach versus how he calls plays as a defensive coordinator. And as a defensive coordinator, I can only go off him as a defensive coordinator. He's pretty damn good. As a defensive coordinator, when he's the head coach and he's got the whole team in mind, he second guesses himself. He plays it safe. He takes no risks, and it feels like he doesn't believe in his team. This Buccaneers team has got to figure it out. I believe we've got the players available. We've got players available. I do think there's a couple of things that we need to pick up. We definitely need to look at outside backers for sure. Probably might need to look at DBs. I need to look at that a little bit more deeper, especially if the next defense coordinator wants to play zone. Buccaneers have got some things to figure out. But until then, catch me on the aftermath. You guys, come on, chat your shit, get your therapy done, get it all out in the open. It doesn't matter how outlandish you speak, you're welcome. Okay, so we can get you on screen, we can get you on camera. If you don't want to be on camera, you can just give us your voice, lend us your voice. Because Buc fans, it's time to vent, because I just don't see this season going the way we want. Without that note, Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs!